So don't pay any attention to the background over here. Listen to the words that I'm saying right now. Sean O'Malley has just recently claimed in a YouTube video that he went 1, 3, and 5. Those are the rounds that he thinks that he won against Merab Devalishvili. That is completely nonsensical to me. Because he clearly lost round 1 in terms of, okay, the rules of MMA completely state that striking is not the only thing that is valuable in an MMA fight. It says striking / grappling. And for some reason, those rules seem to be forgotten about the MMA fans out there. I'm talking about a specific MMA YouTuber that has made a recent video about why Sean O'Malley won this fight. MMA guru. But yes, so I'm going to go through the video of Sean O'Malley and his team reacting to the fight itself, and I'm going to go through the actual rules of the official MMA that specifically state out what is the number one criteria from striking / grappling, not just damage. Because I know for a fact that a lot of MMA fans are just going under the assumption that damage above all, and I know the exact quote they're referring to, the immediate damage above the cumulative, which is true, but in this context I will explain why that does not apply to this fight specifically. But first I want to get into Merab versus Sean O'Malley and Sean O'Malley's actual reaction to the fight. And you know what the funny thing is? The first thing that I want to point out in this fight specific case is the fact that after the fight ended, Sean O'Malley actually admitted that he lost the fight. He didn't come out and say, "Oh, I won the fight." When he was standing there next to Merab Devalishvili, he was just clapping his hands. He was just clapping his hands. He was just like, "Oh, Merab, you won the fight." That's it. And then he went on his YouTube channel specifically and he said, "Oh, I'm going to be graceful in defeat. Oh, there was nothing I could do." And his Tim Welsh, he specifically went on his YouTube channel and he was like, "Oh, dude, there was nothing we could do. You know, like rounds 3 and 5 maybe, but round 1 that was the end of it." But for some reason, that was it, and that was it. And then for no reason whatsoever, Sean O'Malley comes out on his YouTube channel, and Tim Welch is spouting some real nonsense in there. I'm gonna show you in a second. Give me a sec. Oh, fuck. Okay, here we go.
Take, I have no idea what it's gonna be.
Me too.
I think it's a scramble and hits up against the fence.
Dink. Ooh, that was sick.
People are saying like we could have gave me this
Dink.
for free. I mean, God, unless the ground and pound is that
230.
fucking bad, it could be.
It's still the first.
If the ground and pound is that something, and there could be, what do you mean, dude? Like, that wasn't even a big enough strike. And for some reason, Sean O'Malley's YouTube channel specifically points out the fights, the points of the fight that specifically benefit him, which makes sense, obviously. This is Sean O'Malley's YouTube channel. But still, like, this is not a fair assessment of the breakdown. When Sean O'Malley and Merab Devalishvili were striking on the feet, it was like a 50-50 affair. Like, it could have gone either way. Merab Devalishvili landed a big head kick in the middle of the first round. And honestly, it just comes out of the first round, realistically. Because the rounds that Sean O'Malley is specifically arguing are rounds 1, 3, and 5. That's it. 2 and 4 are too much of a domination by Merab Devalishvili for Sean O'Malley to be possibly arguing. And he said it himself. 1, 3, and 5 are the rounds that he is arguing. Round 3 is close enough to the point when I first watched it, I said, you know what? This is a round that is robbable for Sean O'Malley. Like, they could potentially give the round to Sean O'Malley, But when the round actually officially ended, I was like, two of the judges at the very minimal are giving it to Merab. Then one will give it to Sean O'Malley. But in reality, two of the judges gave the round to Sean O'Malley, and I don't understand it. Like, I understand it because I could see it going either way, but still, you know what I mean, though? Like, round one, though, on the other hand, is nowhere near at all, in my opinion, at all, like, debatable. Because I have the official rules of mixed martial arts in front of me. In a second, I will show you why the rules of mixed martial arts say that Merab clearly won round one. And I have seen I'm a Redditor, and I've seen a lot of people post that Sean O'Malley won round one because of what Sugar said, and one more MMA content creator can be considered a guru in some regards. But here we go.
3 minutes of that round.
All
3 minutes.
All
Over
shot.
half of that round.
Yeah, landing all the shots, damaging shots too, dude.
Bro, this first
You gotta keep in mind these are all yes men, and Schmitty and that guy on the left, I don't know who it is, the guy with the sun kissed in his hand. They're all obviously Sean O'Malley's mates from like a previous life. So they've had no like life success prior to this moment. So they're obviously just going to be like yes men to Sean O'Malley and say yes to whatever he says. Like there's no reason for them to say otherwise. Because if not, they'd be back in the bingo halls, or like working at McDonald's or whatever. And that's not to say that, you know, like they're losers, but they are realistically. And that's coming from someone that has 0 subscribers right now.
round, I mean, there's a minute and a half left.
It didn't start.
I won this shit. But it still hasn't really hit me with anything, right? Like,
That's where you could pass.
is that why they gave him the round? This wasn't.
Is that why they gave him the round? Because of the guillotine choke? No. They gave him the round because in that round specifically, and I'm specifically going to argue round one, because it is the most clear round of any round between Sean O'Malley and Merab, and the only argument that Sean O'Malley has is rounds 1, 3, and 5. And guess what? In round 1, Sean O'Malley, okay, on the feet, it was not a domination whatsoever. And then Merab Devalishvili actually got some clean takedowns, 3 in total, and landed some knees to the thighs, which people aren't gonna, you know, it's... bleh. But if you actually train MMA, knees to the thigh are actually quite a devastating move. Like they can actually hinder your movement and actually give you some quick damage. But also he ran some quick right hands against the cage when Sean was trying to get up. But all of that I will prove in a second. The rules of mixed martial arts, I have them with me. I will put them up in 1 second. I'm going to get through this video, then I will show you the rules of mixed martial arts and how they specifically say that grappling of that variety is actually beneficial to you winning a round or a fight, not just because of damage, but because of other factors that can affect a fight that aren't just exclusive to immediate damage, like a fighter just going, you know what I mean? Like just wobbly leg, just on one leg and just going, nearly shutting off.
It wasn't tight at all. I literally won that round, and that wasn't even that controversial.
I literally won that round. It wasn't even that controversial. This is what Sean O'Malley has to say after that round. Honestly, I can't actually tell if he's trolling or not because it seems like he has. He's like, I can't even tell. And Tim Welch is over there. He's just like, you know what? I think you might have. Completely idiotic. But let's continue.
That's why I didn't want to go in there and say you're down by 4 because I'm like, I didn't think he is.
Tim Welch just says, I didn't want to go in there and say that you're down by 4 because I didn't think you were. Even if you are an MMA coach, you cannot possibly expect that fight to be going any other way. You have to look at the most pessimistic possible view of the fight, the most pessimistic view of the fight was Sean O'Malley had lost 4 rounds to nothing going into the 5th round. And you know what? Why? If Tim Welch really thought in rounds 1 and 3 Sean O'Malley had won, he would have clearly stated it to him. You know why? Because in a fight going to the 5th round, if you're 2-2 in a either way kind of fight, you would tell your fighter, it's evens. We need this round. But instead, Tim Welch was telling Sean O'Malley, we're down. It's almost over right now. That's what he was saying, right? I can't do a Tim Welch impression, but that's what he was saying to Sean O'Malley in the 4th round. And look at Sean O'Malley over here. Like, he's really thinking about this. Like, you can tell in the moment where the fight actually occurred, Sean O'Malley had 0 knowledge or chance that he knew that he was winning. You know that, I know that, everybody knows that. And the fact that he thinks otherwise is so completely delusional, because at the start of all of this, Sean O'Malley had a really good grasp on the fight, and he said, oh, well, the better man won. And it actually kind of made him likable, it kind of made him relatable, you know what I mean? Because right now, as it is, he's some pink-haired dude in America that's like riding a pink Lamborghini around. Like, he's richer than the average person in his position would be. Because think about it, he fought some no-names until he fought Peter Yan, and then he knocked out Aljo, and then he became the champion, and he made a lot of money apparently, and in a Lamborghini before any of that even occurred. Let's see what else is happening.
Okay, so they're counting those?
Yeah.
Are they counting those? Yeah. Dude, this guy on the back is completely a shill. He's a pink fucking hat on. Like, he's just, I mean, if you're if you're a fan of Sean O'Malley or someone else that's very famous on the YouTube scene, you know what I mean? That is supporting this, like, yeah, I mean, MMA guru.
He still on shit. Oh, it's so frustrating.
Here, then her watching her spin. Hey, fucking it.
Aljo was about to get out of the cage.
He was. Let me see.
Oh, he was fired up. All right, round 3. I have it 1-1 going in.
Sean O'Malley has a 1 going to the 3rd round. Just kind of shows you how delusional he is rewatching a fight. If you rewatch any fight, and you have the idea of context bending the rules of MMA, you're going to give it to the other guy. I mean, it's just not like, it is what it is. I actually wanted Merab to win, by the way, because I think Sean O'Malley's cringe. And even if he loses, he'll still be on some pay-per-view cards. I mean, it's true, right? You'll have a main event of a pay-per-view, plus you have Sean O'Malley in the co-main event. It changes nothing. It's Sean O'Malley. He'll be on it either way. Who cares?
In the 3rd, no bias.
Nice, dude.
I want to text Joe after this fight. If I think I won 1-3-5, I want to text Joe and say, go back, watch that. I literally don't remember what happened.
Knowing Joe Rogan, he'll probably agree with Sean O'Malley because he's a complete little bitch. I'll be honest with you. Like, he has no, like, specific moral ground. He will specifically praise a grappler if that grappler is on his podcast. Or even if he's not, he will praise that grappler if he likes the way that he grapples. But, like, he'll also mention, like, the new modern ways because he just wants to be in, like, with the hip crowd. I mean, I don't really... I don't know. Like, if he has Sean O'Malley on the card, he'll be like, whoa, dude, really? That what really happened? Whoa. That's really interesting. Did I mention I was on shrooms? That's what he's going to do, dude. He's a fucking chill. Not just Rogan, but other people as well. But that's a different video for another time. It's my first video. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep going.
And any of this.
Body shot.
Ooh.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Good shot.
Oh, he could have tripped.
This is firing me back up.
Beautiful, beautiful. This is firing me back up. This is later on in the fight, so like it's not just the first round, and I'll just break down the first round later on, because that's the only one that matters in disproving Sean O'Malley. But literally, you can just tell by how biased they are. It's just like, beautiful, beautiful. As Merab is on the offensive and Sean O'Malley is clearly defensive, going back against the fence, they go, oh, you trip. Does that count? That's what he's doing right now. And, oh, dude, fucking Schmitty in the background. Schmitty! The biggest cock in all of his, you know, like, to another man ever. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't he on the podcast being like, oh, you didn't even think about Schmitty? You know what I mean? For an after party? Like, bro, this is not fucking, we're not 16-year-old fucking girls over here.
Me too. It's already way different than I was expecting it from from what I've been hearing people say. Dude, this
Different from what you've been hearing people say. What if you watched, man? Like, what have you heard people say? You got dominated and you just watched yourself maybe not get dominated, but you clearly lost. Like, if your mindset is this going into a fight with Umar, you will 100% lose. You know why? Because Umar Devalishvili will play a very specific style that follows the rules of MMA that the judges will agree to. And that's why.
this round is closer than the first.
Yes.
Another good one.
Dink, dink, and then Tim Welch is getting up over there. Like, what are you on about, dude? Like, there is nothing to stand up about in this situation. Merab, okay, you can see with your eyes, Merab Devalishvili is hands out, facing Sean O'Malley, and Tim Welch is acting like this is some big game-changing moment. All of a sudden, the tides of the battle have turned. You know what I mean? Rome is beating Greece. I don't know what the fuck that means. Let's see what happens next.
Fuck, dude. Hold on a second.
Bye! Bink?
He took a bad shot there. That's
Oh, God.
Where he almost walks him into that. Like, ooh, his life flashed before his eyes right there.
Start picking up on it.
Can't say this.
Sean O'Malley breathes out and Tim Welch is like, you know, his life flashes right before his eyes. It's completely nonsense, dude. All of this is bullshit. Like, Sean O'Malley, I mean, they know what's happening. And, like, literally, like, listen to me, right? If a fight occurs and it's close and you watch it to see how the other person could have won, like Sandhagen versus TJ, where TJ definitely won that fight, by the way. If you watch that fight just to see how Sandhagen, won, you could probably figure out a way. Like, it's not probably impossible, but, you know.
Shit ain't competitive.
Bro, what is this? I mean, the narrative is crazy. I'm
The
gonna ask you,
narrative?
please put this on you. That one hurt him. That one hurt him.
They're only showing highlights of Sean O'Malley landing good. Merab Devalishvili did some good stuff in this fight, and they're not showing any of it because it doesn't make him seem good. I guess he wants to fight with Sandhagen, Cejudo, and trying to make himself like a star, but realistically, like, he's like, you know, like he lost here. Like, Noche, he's not Mexican. He fucking got his ass clapped cheeks. And also one more thing, when he got his ass clapped cheeks, he wasn't dominant on the feet at all. Any exchange that he won on the feet wasn't dominant. Merab was landing back. That's a factor when it comes to the rules of MMA. Stay a second.
That one fucking hurt him. Round 4.
Back it up.
I know that one hurt. I felt
Back it up. Fuck you, Schmitty.
lazy.
I didn't realize he was bleeding so bad here.
This motherfucker's holding on for dear life too. You know, like he knows. Those numbers are crazy.
I mean, they'll count this.
I know.
They'll count
And
this.
let's say we're almost done with this. Like, hey, this fight's on.
They'll count this. But they won't count Sean O'Malley landing a distance jab literally from here going to the body. Like, dude, like, we know for a fact like, that's not going to knock anyone out, and you've never knocked anyone out doing that stuff. You've set someone up, but the stuff you set up Merab with, it didn't pay off in that manner. Like, why are you acting like distance strikes are all of a sudden more significant than Merab pushing you against the cage, kneeing you in the thigh? Keep in mind, in all those jabs, Merab kept pushing the pressure forward, and his stamina just seemed full throughout the entire fight.
Almost over. That's not getting a lot of shit.
No, they want you to say, please get out the fire.
Yeah, I just caught
Had Sean knocked him out, Tim, they wouldn't even be talking about it.
Schmitty is a
I know the
bitch,
haters just gonna call
and
what they
he's
want, but if someone rewatches
mooching
this
money off them.
with judging in mind, this is a fucking close fight. 2-2 going in the fifth.
I want to know if
Oh,
Ooh! Round 5, Sean O'Malley won. I have no problem with that. I'm going to stop right here. The point is, Sean O'Malley and Tim Welch had a really biased take on the fight, and round 1 was clearly Merab. And I'm going to prove it in 1 second right now. Give me 1 sec. Hold up. Hold up. I will now share to you the mixed martial arts rules of MMA that specifically state, rewatch the fight. I know a lot of you might have, a lot of you might not have. Rewatch the fight that specifically, in detail, step by step, prove that Sean O'Malley was completely in the wrong. Share. There we go. So first of all, we're going down all the way. Hold up, what the fuck? The judging criteria. All rounds will be evaluated. The judges shall evaluate mixed martial arts technique, such as effective striking / grappling. Striking is not the only criteria they have. There is a rule that says immediate damage above accumulative damage, and I understand that, but each round must be judged on its own. And in the number 1 criteria they updated in 2023, striking and grappling have been listed together. And then after that, you have effective aggressiveness and controlling of the fighting cage. Plan C and B are not taken into consideration unless Plan A is weighted as being even. That part is true. Evaluations shall be made in a specific order in which the techniques appear, with C being number 1, giving the most weight in scoring to effective striking and grappling, and effective aggressiveness and control in the fighting area. Effective striking is judged by determining the impact / effect of legal strikes landed by a contestant solely based on the results of such illegal strikes. Effective grappling, on the other hand, is assessed by the successful execution and impactful / effective results coming from takedowns, submission attempts, achieving an advantageous position, and reversals. So, for example, Merab Devalishvili in the very first round of that fight is having impactful / effective results from takedowns and submission attempts, because he gets Sean O'Malley up to the cage and goes boom, boom, boom with his right hand. And at a different point in the fight, he's just kneeing the thigh of Sean O'Malley, which you may not think is like, impactful. But honestly, Sean O'Malley, it's not like on the feet Sean O'Malley was like piecing him up. It's just like 1, 2, 1. You know what I mean? Like just back and forth between the two of them. And at one point in the fight, Merab Devalishvili landed a head strike with his leg, a head kick, almost clean on Sean O'Malley. So that was like the big strike that Sean O'Malley had. Merab Devalishvili had. And Sean O'Malley's counter to that was like a body strike, a jab, a 1-2, a body strike. And that was it. Like leg kicks, like they was kind of even, you know what I mean? Anyway, it just explains the criteria that are effective after striking / grappling. Keep in mind, / grappling is a huge part of all of this. Effective aggressiveness means aggressively making attempts to finish the fight. Sean O'Malley never did that in round 1 at all. He was just jabbing and punching. Fighting area control is assessed by determining who is dictating the pace, place, and position of the fight. Merab Devalishvili did that. All of this is positioned after striking / grappling and the damage that occurs from all of that. So, you know, like, if everything is even, Merab clearly wins this, and you have to admit that. Like, there's no way you can think otherwise. Sean O'Malley was not dominating on the feet, like, to the extent that you guys think he was. Or actually, you don't, because only Sean O'Malley thinks this way. He's fucking delusional. You know, impact. A judge shall assess if a fighter impacts their opponent significantly in the round, even though they may not have dominated the action. How do they do that? Impact includes visible evidence such as swelling and lacerations. Impact shall also be assessed when a fighter's actions using striking and/or grappling lead to a diminishing of their opponent's energy, confidence, and spirit. So that is a factor in this fight. In round 1, Sean O'Malley, towards the end of that fight, was not looking as clean as he did at the start of the fight, when Merab was yelling at him, saying, "You know what I mean?" Sean O'Malley went after him, Herbert said, "Back off for a second." And then afterwards, Sean O'Malley was not landing these big strikes whatsoever. But anyway, no, he wasn't landing these big strikes whatsoever, and Merab Devalishvili was countering him back and forth. Even if Sean O'Malley won on the feet for the first, 30 seconds or so, 30%, 3 minutes of the fight, it wasn't like this dominant fashion. Like, it was back and forth, and then the last 2 minutes, Merab kind of just took over. Anyway, all of these come as a direct result of impact. When a fighter is impacted by strikes, by lack of control and/or ability, they can create defining moments in the round and shall be assessed with great value. Sean O'Malley never had any defining moments. Like, he didn't do anything special. Like, he landed some good shots here and there. Merab landed the biggest shot of the fight, I feel like. The head kick, you know what I mean? Nothing really too big. But dominance is the next factor right here. As MMA is an offensive-based sport, dominance of a round can be seen in striking when the losing fighter is forced to continuously defend. Like Sean O'Malley was, he kept pushing on the fence, get dropped down, got back up. Those moments in the fight aren't actually seen as positive. They're actually just seen as defensive, I guess. Like, because the previous rules of MMA gave points to defensiveness, but now they don't. So that's nothing for Sean O'Malley, while for Merab, it is offensive output. With no counters or reaction taken when opening present themselves. Dominance in the grappling phase can be seen by fighters striking, dominant position in the fighting, and utilizing these positions to attempt fight-ending submissions or attacks. Something Merab clearly did towards the end of the fight, where he locked him in the guillotine choke. Sean O'Malley was fighting the choke. By the end, he got out of it, but nothing positive can be given to Sean O'Malley in that moment, by the way. It's not like, oh, Merab, empty submission attempt. No, he was on the offensive, and Sean O'Malley did nothing. This is one of the reasons, instead of just going out there and being like, when a fighter is on all fours, instead of just being like, you literally just throw in a submission, because that will gain the judge's attention and will show that you're on the offensive, as opposed to just going, and then the other guy just like, way. You know what I mean? Like, that guy is just not doing anything of significant, defense, and you're not doing any significant offense either, so, merely holding a dominant position shall not be a primary factor in assessing dominance. We know that. Merab taking Sean O'Malley down is not the only thing that won the fight, and it shouldn't even be considered if he did nothing else after that. what the fighter does with those positions is what must be assessed. Oh. So Merab Devalishvili landing some bow, 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 big right hands and some knees to the thighs. It's got to be assessed. It's not just like those strikes are weighed the same as Sean O'Malley landing from a distance going to the body, you know what I mean? Those strikes from Merab accumulate with the grappling, as it clearly states. Because what you do with those positions is striking, but also the main criteria is striking and grappling. So you're accentuating your grappling while also accentuating your striking in those scenarios. In the absence of dominance in the grappling phases set forth in paragraph 3 of the promulgated rules to a considerate dominant, there must be a singular or in combination some type of submission attempt, strikes, or an overwhelming pace. Something Merab did have. He had the submission attempt, the pace. He broke the will of Sean O'Malley, as it said earlier on. Their fighting style, their spirit being affected is a part of the fight, which is measured by improving or aggressive positional changes that cause the losing fighter consistently be in a defensive or reactive mode. Sean O'Malley was in a defensive mode towards the end of the fight. He was covering up, protecting his knees, trying to get up. He was trying to protect the submission guillotine attack he had. And honestly, if he didn't, that's it. Like, it's not like him defending the guillotine is somehow like positive. Merab, you get no points whatsoever for this. He gets points for these, but Sean O'Malley specifically loses points for these, if you think about it, right? Because, like, he's not... The rules completely state that being on the defensive has no significant value, while being on the offensive, even including grappling, has significant value. And even with all of that, it's not like in any point in the fight, Sean O'Malley was dominating on the feet. He was not. He did not rock Merab Devalishvili. He did not piece him up. He did not push him against the fence like boom, 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 hurt him to the body or anything like that. It was a pretty, like, Sean O'Malley might have been winning on the feet, but Merab was, like, hanging in there with him. But when it comes to the grappling, it wasn't even close. Merab just completely destroyed him. And then we get to the duration. Duration is defined by the time spent by one fighter effectively attacking, controlling, and or impacting their opponent. While the opponent offers little to no offensive output, a judge shall assess duration by recognizing the relative time in a round when a fighter takes and maintains full control of the effective offense. This can be assessed both standing and grounded. Standing and grounded. So for a fact, okay, listen to me, right? There was no significant time where Sean O'Malley took the initiative and took the fight in control on the feet. He didn't. Merab Devalishvili threw an overhand, took Sean O'Malley down. That was a big part of the on the feet part of the action of the fight. And on the ground, Sean O'Malley had nothing for him on the round one, right? Like on round one, Merab Devalishvili did what he wanted. Boom, 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 right hands, knees to the thighs, did the submission attempt. Sean was on the defensive for the entire period. Merab Devalishvili was not on the defensive for that long of a period. He was landing strikes back and forth on the feet, like boom, boom, boom. There was like Herb Dean breaks them up, you know what I mean? Like, Tim Wells, shut the fuck up, you're a bitch. But anyway, like, this was like the entire fight, but for some reason, not everyone, Sean O'Malley wants to think the fight went 1, 3, and 5 to him. And honestly, this is like the bad mentality to have, like, because let's be honest, Sean O'Malley is going to go into a fight with Henry Cejudo, a grappler. If it's a 3-round fight, because Sean O'Malley has specifically said if he's not fighting for the title, he wants 3-round fights, could potentially beat him. Because Peter Yan, I actually thought Sean O'Malley won that fight. Believe it or not, I thought he had that fight won. I thought on the ground, Peter Yan didn't do enough. I thought he could back up, did enough damage. But then Henry Cejudo, like, if he keeps him down, throws him a few strikes, boom, boom, boom. He could lose that fight. Another one is Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen has improved his grappling significantly. And if you think Corey Sandhagen is the same fighter as he was like 5 years ago, like he's not. Like he will take you down. Like he will control you. If you can get up, best of luck. But like you have to come into this fight with like the mentality. Any round that is close, I've lost. This round, 50-50, they're just gonna go, you know, I'll lose. Because like that's how it works. Like if you put more output into the later rounds, like you have a better chance of winning. Because Sean O'Malley himself said he got taken down. He was like, well, he took me down. Like I'll have to try again next round. He said that against the Merab fight. The Merab fight ended, and he was like, I thought I. He seemed like he lost in his first podcast, to be honest here. The only reason we don't remember that is because Schmitty made it all about himself. I didn't get invited to the fight. You guys! You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the MMA guru, but that's what was happening. But all of a sudden, like, we seems to have forgotten, like, the rules of MMA are right in front of us. We can read dominance, which Merab had, impact, Merab had, and the impact is not just specifically landed by damage, it's also like the confidence, the ability, the energy, and the spirit, which Sean O'Malley lacked after what Merab did. And before that, the 2 minutes before that, 3 minutes, Merab was going toe to toe, like he was maybe whatever you want to see it, was losing him to Sean O'Malley before the takedown, before the boom, 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 and the knee slaps, I guess. But he clearly won that round, and not only that, like everyone thinks so as well. So that's it, I guess. Like Sean O'Malley's delusional. I'm sorry, MMA Guru. I like you, Connor. You're the entrepreneur of YouTube MMA channels, but you are a little bit delusional in this specific sense. I just want to make this video to put some light on it. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. This is my first video. If you want to see more impactful analysis like this that breaks down some hypocrisies of different people with specific criteria and rules, like, share, subscribe once more. And that is it. This is the MMA Doctor. I will see you next time.